And you really can't buy anything like this. It's just like lots of little layers. You can see the little layers of flaky dough. And you make that yourself. And it takes about 5 apples. And I like to mix them up. I got some Granny Smith, I got some Macintosh, and I got to mix them up. But I always do Granny Smith because they're just, I think they're just the best. So we got apples. It takes a 1/4 cup of raisins, which that is, and a 1/2 cup of pecans, which that is. And you can add more of these if you want. It's one of those things you can, you know, if you like lots of raisins, you can do lots of raisins. Okay, and this is the secret. This dough stretches just like elastic, and that's how come you can get it that thin. Okay, so it's just 2 cups of flour.
Just plain flour?
Plain, right, just plain flour. Okay, and then to that we need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We need 1 egg. So 1 egg, throw it right in the bowl. So 2 tablespoons of oil. You got the 2 cups of flour, the 1/2 teaspoon of salt, the 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of oil, and a 1/2 cup of warm water. And you just mix it up. It looks rough. Now, just flour your surface. Now you need to knead this. You need to knead it. And you know, 3, 4, 5 minutes is good.
Sticky on me that half my dough is gone on my hand.
Okay, well probably then either flour your hands a little bit, or you may have too much moisture in it. You know, yeah. But you know, always just keep adding a little flour until it quits being sticky. And this one, you can see the more you knead it, it gets silky smooth. But anyway, as you see it starting to come together, it's starting to look like that. Just keep it going until you know you've gotten it. Really, this kneading is important because it gets the dough real elasticy, and then you have to let it rest. And then let it rest for an hour. It will be too tight if you don't. The gluten works up like a muscle, and then that hour gives it time to go relax back out, and then you can roll it, which we're going to attempt to do that. Now this is a Macintosh. These are Granny's, and this is the Golden Delicious. And like I say, when I do anything, pies or anything, I personally like to mix them up. So just take your apple and just do the peeling. Get your little core out. If you have to do it like this, you know, you'll be there all day. But just turn it over on its side and just start like this. You can get them really, really thin. And, you know, and they'll be ready to go. So that's the 5 apples. 1/2 cup of pecans, which it says 2 ounces, but it'll fill your cup up half. Okay. And this is just a little individual raisin thing, and it'll do the 4th cup. But like I said, you can do more of this and more of this if you like it. It doesn't matter. Right. But I put a little lemon, like 1/2 a thing of lemon, and tossed it in. But then, just before we serve it, I'm going to add my 1/2 cup of sugar and toss it in. And I'm not adding that before I get the crust ready because it's going to make a syrup, and I don't want to put it on the crust and let it be, you know, real soupy. Okay, and this is our dough ready to roll, theoretically. And this is just an old tablecloth that I cut. I save it just for strudel. You can see I've already dusted it some with the flour to make sure I can get the dough up off of it. I'll put it in a bag, and then I just keep it just for making the strudel. You can see that is, you know, the secret to it. Yeah, it is. And you may get a hole in it. Don't panic. You can just patch it with another little piece of dough. So you can just see it'll start to just get real thin. See? Put it on the cloth.
Yes.
It's different than a pizza dough, but pizza dough does this because of the yeast. You let it rise a couple of times, and it gets real agreeable like this.
It doesn't stick to it now.
It will as it gets thinner. That's one of the things you have to watch. But you kind of go around. You get 2 people, and you go around the table like this. You just pull it with your knuckles and pull it. Just keep going, keep pulling and stretching, and you see how it's getting thinner. You'll be able to see through this in a little bit. Pulling, stretching and pulling, and then rolling, because the rolling pin will help to keep the dough uniform. You won't have a big, thick blob in one place and and then a thin part somewhere else. And this, like I say, it's just a matter of patience and just keeping at it. What I'm saying is you can see that the dough is doing it for you. And that, you know, that's what scares people. They think you can't, but you can. Just your hands up under it. Keep it, yeah. Let it go. Yeah. Do your hands like that, and you can draw it out. Huh?
Can I keep going?
Yeah. Come this way so we don't drop at the floor or whatever. We still gotta keep it on the cloth.
Oh, this feels fun.
Doesn't feel good?
This is better than Play-Doh.
I think we've about got it. Yeah. See, you see how thin that looks?
Yeah.
You just go around, you can just trim it just like this, a little bit around the edges.
And that's what you do for your patchwork?
Yeah, this and also these little edges that are hard to really get as thin as that. You can't, it's really hard to stretch this as thin as you want it. Okay, and I think, okay, we're ready. Now I just want to mix my sugar into my apples. The filling is ready except for the sugar. And like I say, I want to do that last. Make note to do your sugar last, because if you do it first, it makes the syrup and then it'll roll out. And it'll make this more difficult to roll up. We just went over it with butter, just, you know, dibby-dabby here and there. I was just telling Janet, when you roll this, that little bit of butter keeps these, it separates the layers as it bakes, so it doesn't go back into a thick crust. Yeah, then a cup of breadcrumbs over top of that. It adds, you know, a little thickening, and it just adds a little texture. And just stir that. This is the apples, a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a cup of sugar, the raisins, and the pecans. That's all that's in there. There you go. Okay, and just form your apples. You know, form into a log. Make your log, and then you just start the rolling process. You begin, just do like this, you just begin pulling it over.
That's amazing.
Now this is where your cloth comes in. And like if you need a little bit more on the end, just pull out your dough. And then begin your folding process like this. Pulling it back like towards you.
Use the cloth with it.
Yeah, the cloth will keep it from sticking, and it'll make you able to roll this too.
I do that with cinnamon.
Theoretically, this should still be on the cloth where I can just flop it and turn it.
How cool.
So now, I want to shape it like I want it. A horseshoe shape, yeah, like you see strudel. Tuck any ugly pieces under. Tuck your little Andy pieces under like that. And you're good to go.
Cool.
Alright, and then brush it with butter to brown it up real good.
And then bake it.
And it's ready for the oven.
How long? How high?
350. 45 minutes usually will be plenty. If your oven looks like it's cooking too fast, then, you know, reduce it to 40 minutes or bring your, you know how ovens are. It's moderate oven, which is about 350. If your oven runs hot, take it to 325. But about 45 minutes. And it's ready for the oven now. That's it, yeah. And like I said, when you take this out, it will be real crispy. When it sits, that was made last night. It will be like that, but that won't be nearly as good because of the fact that the dough's not crispy. But that's a strudel.